Whoa. Hello?
Hello, nurse.
Is this thing on?
Hello, is this thing on?
Yes. Oh, it is. Oh, we're live.
Live.
We're live in the hot set.
Lights, camera, action, live, here.
All right, everyone. Hello, everyone. And thank you for tuning in to Fallon's Daily Toast. I'm Fallon Lee O'Brien. I'm your host of the show, and we're at Somerville Media Center. Somerville Media Center is the umbrella. Yes, at home. To SCA TV, to BFR, to SNN. It's right in the middle of the heart of Union Square. Rich history. Joining me on the show on this fine evening is director, guerrilla filmmaker, and improv sketch comedian Dianne Carroll Bergeron the First. Thank you for being on the show, Dianne.
Thank you.
I just want to say that you are looking absolutely marvelous.
Ravishing.
Ravishing
is the word you're looking for.
There's so much volume in these curls.
The higher the hair, you know.
Yeah. So
Am I
just,
right?
No, you're right.
I've got an Italian hairdresser in Davis Square. She knows what she's doing. Oh, that's your moment of zen.
No, did you see a little turtle?
Swim, turtle. We were talking about turtles earlier. Turtles apparently can live hundreds of years.
Yep. Hundreds of years.
And we decided we'd rather be a deep sea turtle than maybe like a tortoise turtle.
Yep.
Because the ocean seems so much more appealing than the dry desert, right?
Yeah, though I like burying myself in the sand once in a while. I was recently on the Cape, and it was gorgeous. Nickerson State Park. We camped and swam and kayaked, and I buried myself, and I gave myself a nice little, scrubbed up exfoliation. When you're on the beach, it's a great time to exfoliate your feet.
Cape Cod facial exposure.
Yeah.
We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun. But the times we loved most were the seasons of the cold.
So, Dianne
Thank
Carroll.
you for having me
Yes,
here.
I'm so excited. I've been wanting to have Dianne on the show since I first met her a few weeks ago, but schedules time like an accordion. Not the first time I've said that. It just, so it's finally worked out that we've been able to come together tonight, and so
excited.
So excited. So Dianne is a director, and she directed a film called Bad Ballerina 1, and she's here in Boston to scout locations for Bad Ballerina 2. So talk a little bit about Bad Ballerina 1. What was the inspiration behind that to the audience there?
Without looking at my notes here, well, thank you for asking about the Bad Ballerina inspiration. It's very meaningful to me. Okay, so inspiration, I was in a ballet class at the Lee Strasberg, and I was really excited when I signed up for the ballet class, because that means I get to go shopping for a Bad Ballerina outfit. So I went with all black, and I'm in the class, and I'm pirouetting, and they're going through all these drills and skills, and I'm a little bit chunky, and I might have had a slight tinge of a hangover with the raccoon eyes. And I looked in the mirror, and I said, "Damn, Dianne, you are a bad ballerina." So I left class, and I jaywalked across the street while lighting a cigarette, pushing over an old woman, and barreling my way through a crowd, and suffering.
Come in.
Yeah, come in.
Hey, I just need a table. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, no problem.
Here,
Yeah, let me hold
you
the
got
door.
the door.
I got the door. Yeah, you keep talking about Bad Ballerina.
I got it.
So no, it's just
Sure?
Bad Ballerina shit, Bad Ballerina is kind of based around the story of, it's not necessarily like she's a social deviant, but she lives in a dream state, so she just goes around doing whatever it is the fuck that she wants to do. Excuse my language.
Your excuse.
Never really suffering the consequences of her actions. No, but then enter my protagonist, Gabriel Pacheco.
Gabriel!
He's actually returning to the screen for Bad Ballerina 2. He's flying up to Boston with him and his girlfriend Amber Rollo.
Yeah.
New York stand-up comedian, both of them.
Great.
To join Valley on the set of Bad Ballerina 2. But anyways, Gabriel's character kind of lives in the wake, like he's the one who suffers all the ramifications of Bad Ballerina's actions. He lives in the wake of her destruction. Bad Ballerina flaps her wings in Mobile, Alabama, and he gets smacked in the face in Japan. So it's just kind of like, people do bad shit sometimes, and you know, other people are the ones that suffer, and it's not necessarily. So I think that's kind of like the underlying message that I'm shooting for everybody to identify with.
Yeah, the burden to which people put on others is...
And the love that can come from that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So.
a broken heart only allows for more light to shine in.
All you need is love.
All together.
All you need is love, love, love.
Is
all you need is love. So Bad Ballerina is a love story. She's just a bad bitch, and you can't really figure out it's a love story.
Yeah, I love.
Cool.
I saw one, and I'm definitely impressed with the shots. Like you have a really good eye for direction and for the scenes. And
Well, thank you.
Yeah, where does that come from?
I've been behind the camera since 2009. I first started my career off at the Defense Information School, or DINFOS, with my friend, Boston's own Justin Morelli. Justin, if you're watching this, hello.
Hey, Justin.
He was a combat cameraman there. I was a broadcast journalist. And it was honestly just make your own media packages. They handed us cameras, microphones, the whole 9 yards. And just taught us the rule of thirds and the simple depth of field. That's all you really need to run a camera. Understand the long, medium, and close-up shot, as well as a story arc, and you can make anything a short film, really.
Ooh, listen to you.
Oh.
Beautiful. And so that was it. And then you just
Yeah.
you felt compelled to want to direct.
I felt compelled to want to direct because I was amongst so many great talents in New York City that I was inspired by these artists. Anthony Caffer, who played the fruit stand worker and the juggler, or resident Hasidic Jewish man, on set. He was just great. Madison Malloy taking risks that magic and filmmaking, jaywalking in front of a bus, or stealing fruit from a fruit stand. All these people inspired me. I love working with comics. I think comics make great actors.
Yeah, and you're a comic, and you've done some performing at Second City now. And what's your experience been like here in Boston in the comedy scene?
My experience here in Boston at the comedy scene has been great. Hands down, the warmest welcome all across the country, and that's giving New Orleans, Louisiana a run for their money because they are the most polite people in the country. Somehow Boston just, maybe it's where I'm at in my life right now, or Boston's that charming, but Boston definitely just kicks so much ass in the stand-up comedy department. It sucks to call them amateurs. But very humble community. We hang out, come on down to Jed's Basement.
Yeah, Jed's Basement.
At 10 Royal, Royal, Romeo, Oscar, Yankee.
Alligator, love.
10 Royal Wednesdays at 5:30. They're so polite. One thing about Boston comics is they all sit around and watch each other's sets. That's rare. I mean, in New York it's a different beast because you have about 50 million more mics to go to a night. And here in Boston, the scene's a little tamer. But, yeah, you guys all stick around for each other's sets. It's very respectful, extremely supportive. Telling jokes, making comedies, like throwing spaghetti against a wall. You got to see what sticks. And always remember, fuck them if they can't take a joke. That I learned from a girl at the Second City.
Yeah.
Life's comedy, life's tragedy, but fuck them if they can't take a joke. Am I right? I mean,
So
we're not on TV. I can say that.
Yeah. It's fine. It's a nice sharp word. It gets the point across. So you start filming for Bad Ballerina 2 coming up in July. Is that right?
Actually, July 15th and 16th, we have 2 12-hour days where we'll be shooting. In the South, we have a saying, bless their heart, which of course means fuck you. But when I say it, I really mean it. Bless my actors' hearts. They're doing it, they are getting paid, but it's not much. So we really are in this for, how would you say, the love of the game.
Oh, yeah, the love of the game.
And we're trying to game change, mate, with elementary guerrilla filmmaking. Yeah, one project at a time.
Yeah, one project.
One.
So
excited to shoot, though. We have some great locations. What's up?
What have been some like tools for you? How have you gotten over your fear of getting up on stage, or of getting in the director's seat and directing people? What what was it that helped you to get over any of your fears?
Actually, I was kind of fearful when I was working with Gabe and Anthony and Madison and all these New Yorkers in Bad Ballerina 1, because these guys they're not necessarily new to the game, and they're all, like, accomplished New York acts. So, like, I kind of felt like I was playing with macaroni, creating art, or stitching into, like, a pillow. This is art, and it's called Bad Ballerina 1. But they were all so nice and, again, supportive. So that kind of helped me get over my fear, and this time I'm just coming really prepared.
Yeah.
If you're prepared, there really is nothing to fear. Am I right, darling?
And you're right. And are you? Did you want to talk about the fact that you're at the Harvard, taking classes? Okay. Well,
let's see if I graduate first.
Yeah, we'll not mention.
I'll mention it for. It was fun. It's cool. Yeah. Taking the focus on directing.
Yeah. I mean, anything, any extra, advice in schools from these professors who are just so remarkable. I mean,
yeah, they're amazing.
Lifting weights, it's like lifting weights.
It's repetition.
Repetition, yeah.
If they say, like, oh, here's a good way to describe Boston comedy. Here's a good analogy for you. Mike Merkovich, a famed New York comic, he really is like the backbone of New York comedy. Holding everything together, the central nervous system. He really knows what the fuck's going on. Mm-hmm. Mike Merkovich told me, Dianne, well, my godmother said, Dianne, death is easy, comedy's hard. And then Mike Merkovich said that it is like Major League Boxing. What's that called? Professional boxing.
Professional boxing, yeah. I think.
And New York was a gym, like a big boxing ring gym where you just go kick the shit out of each other, or, you're a Tyler Durden, you're kicking the shit out of yourself. Mm-hmm. So if New York's a gym, like a boxing gym for comedy, then Boston, Massachusetts is a, like, taekwondo parlor. How would you say that? It's
it's martial arts. It's like a
dojo, right? For jujitsu or some wild stuff. Like, you have to crawl up a Nepalese mountain to get here.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
I'm so glad you made it up the mountain.
I did, man. It's been a long journey. It took me about 6 or 7 years to finally unearth the mystery that Boston is.
Yeah.
Boston.
It's... What's your advice for people out there that are looking for love?
The parable of the Bonnaroo bubble, I would have to say. Have you heard this one?
I haven't, so
okay, so we're at the Bonnaroo, and we're there for an Elton John concert, and all these hippies are blowing bubbles. I had just gone on, like, some mission, and, we don't necessarily have to get into Bonnaroo missions, where those lead. But anyways, I was on a tarp, and we were with our group of people, and there was another girl from Chicago, this married woman, laying on the tarp in a very kick-back, relaxed position. And she, for some reason, fascinated me, so I just watched her for a little bit. Then I watched the hippies in the distance. And then I went and chased one of the bubbles. And it turns out if you chase a bubble, the opposing air and the force is just going to push the bubble away, and it's not going to be as easy to catch. Whereas the girl from Chicago that I was watching was just laid back. And then, like, I just watched this goddamn bubble come in from up here. Woo, went all the way across the screen like that. Dipped on her nose, touched it. And then it just kind of landed in this Chicago woman's hand. Where she then took the bubble. Pop. I was just like, well, I'll be damned, man. Sometimes it's like catching a goddamn firefly. It's gotta eventually come to you. That's pretty much how you should, just wait for it. And if it never comes, it's because your parents didn't love you. Just kidding, everybody needs love.
Yeah, I know, and even if your parents didn't love you, I'm sure you found love elsewhere.
Dude, I'm sure your parents loved you a little bit. Somebody's parents loved you.
Somebody's parents loved you. Or maybe a great aunt or uncle or something.
Or a great aunt or uncle.
Grandparents.
Grandparents. Maybe a niece or a nephew.
Yeah, I mean, Someone loved you.
If you have a dog, it definitely loves you, or
Yeah.
like a cat maybe.
Or a cow that you milked.
Or an imaginary friend, or your ego, and you love yourself a little bit. That's what it's all about, being a goddess or
It's
a god,
true,
and
yeah.
like really loving yourself, right?
Gods were created out of fear.
Yeah.
So I mean, for you, you love immersive art experience. You love connecting. I knew that from the very moment I met you. You were like you were like all here.
I was
Hello.
also high on Adderall that day.
Oh, that too. And
Enter Stratira.
yeah. So I mean, but you were into making some sort of a.
Well, I was into this idea. I love the fact that it's free Boston Public Radio. I love the fact that you guys can come in to your television studio and rent equipment and go make little movies and like do all this great public works and bring the community together. God damn, Somerville's like Pleasantville meets, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Truman Show. Like shit's just really perfect in this town.
It's
so
not,
nice.
It's not perfect. There's a lot of struggle. There's a lot of gentrification that's happening. There's a lot of, families that have been here for 20, 30 years being moved out because developers are coming in. International buyers are buying up developments, and just, it's going to be Kendall Square soon enough. But hey, you can't stifle development, right? And all you can do is hope that whomever is being pushed out is finding a lovely home somewhere else. And, I don't know what to say. I mean, it saddens me to see a lot of this happening, this gentrification, but it happens everywhere and it's been happening from the beginning of time. Artists move to a little, decrepit, broken down area. They liven it up with their art and their carpentry skills and their welding skills and the energy that comes from bringing artists together. And then, someone with big money sees all the work that's been done and that it's a hot spot, and then they're like, oh, let's get in there. And artists and others are moved out, but it's okay. We love moving. We're like movers and shakers. I'm getting an itch now. I've been here for almost 2 years, and I'm like, where am I going next? I just need to go on tour.
On the road again.
On the road again. No, but
I just can't wait to get on the road again. Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I do. I love Somerville, and I'll definitely be here for another couple of years because there's a lot more work to do. And I'm excited because I get to meet people like Dianne. I get to meet people of all shapes, sizes, from cultures. It's really... Tonight I had Jan Marie on the show.
Jan Marie! She was great.
She's moving to Louisiana in October. We're
no
sad
love.
to see her go. And I also had students from the Historical Performance Department at Longy School
they
of
were
Music
great.
of Bard College. They sang Renaissance early music. It was
Renaissance
beautiful.
early music. That's some trippy stuff.
It was, composed by these German composers.
Like era pieces. Like
it's gorgeous.
Maybe they can do the soundtrack to Bad Ballerina, the Bad Librarian.
Yeah.
Library scene.
Yeah.
We need some turn of the century gothic resonating tunes like that.
I can connect you with Keaton's McAfee.
We were talking today about going on tour. Dublin.
Yeah, Dublin.
We think that bringing our act to Dublin, we'd be a hit there.
For a couple of weeks, she'll do the comedy scene. I'll
stick to topical material.
Well, yeah, we could do kind of a shtick together.
A little shtick?
A little stock
A
show.
shtick.
Ah, goodness gracious. Hey, for those tuning in, we love you.
We love you, homie. Elizabeth
Hammerly. Oh,
Hammerly.
she's a wonderful photographer. Neil Doc. What up, Neil? He's a
Elizabeth
really
Hammerly. If you
wonderful
could be
vocalist.
one Lord of the Rings character, which one would you be and why?
Yeah.
Elizabeth Hammerly. Again, if you could be one Lord of the Rings character, who would you be and why, Elizabeth?
So funny. Oh, wow.
Woohoo!
Oh,
Neil.
Neil would be woohoo. I didn't know there was a character in Lord of the Rings.
Neil, feel free to answer Elizabeth's question.
What character would you be in Lord of the Rings, Neil? This question will award you
I will take the ring to Mordor.
this piece of paper.
Now it is time for another improv song, if you will. Beep!
Da 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 da
Oh, I wish I were an Oscar Mayer the kosher kind, of course. 'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer wiener,
I would be the main course. Oscar Mayer wieners, you're like a carabiner for my little ketchup packets.
Jackets.
I mean, because I don't eat hot dogs, though, folks at home.
Fallon, why don't you tell us about you? What are some upcoming projects? What can we look forward to Fallon's Daily Toast doing this summer? What can we look forward to Fallon the performer doing this summer? Where can I see more of Fallon this summer in Somerville?
Well, it's funny you ask. So, Fallon's Daily Toast goes live every Friday, 7 to 8. Tune in, STATVSomerville.org or Somerville's Channel 3. I have been invited by Assembly Row to MC Assembly Row's Bars and Stars 2017. It's the 4th annual competition. So all of these restaurants come together and they compete to make the best drink, and all the proceeds from this event go to Groundwork Somerville, which is an incredible nonprofit that does all the groundwork and just
How'd you get that gig?
I was a commentator for the 1st annual Somerville kickball game at Nunziato Field a few weeks ago. Mayor Curtatone rolled out the first ball. I was there with Joe Lynch and Arden, and I just impressed some people, and so they just invited me. And that's July 13th at Assembly Row. You can still get tickets. July 22nd and 23rd is Figment Boston. That's a big festival happening on the Rose Kennedy Greenway, and that's going to be, again, Friday and Saturday, and it's this amazing immersive art experience. You can't buy anything, it's all free. And it's just people, it's like walking into a variety of dreams.
Fallon, you just gave us 3 different dates. How are we supposed to follow you?
You can go to FallonsDailyToast.com.
FallonsDailyToast.com.
You can go to Fallon's Daily Toast Facebook.
Fallon's Daily Toast Facebook.
You can go to Fallon's Daily Toast
Google search?
Google search. Yeah, there's all sorts of ways you can find out what's
Fallon, do you share your calendar with the audience yet?
I don't. I should.
She's not that transparent. Go transparent, Fallon.
I tried doing that once and I
Next,
accidentally...
her tax records.
I tried doing that once and I accidentally shared my personal, not the public calendar, but the personal calendar for like weeks. Everyone's like knew when I was going to the dentist, knew when I had a gynecologist appointment. It was like so funny. And that's when I stopped using the calendar because I'm like, well, I don't want to make the mistake of, it was really comical. But no, I have lots of things going on. I'm working on a situational comedy with
Left of Boston
with
Vernon Supreme.
Stuart Rolke, Abigail Power, Vermin Supreme. He wears a boot on his head. He's been putting his name into running for president for the last 30 years. He's a good guy, real genuine, sand of the earth kind of guy. You know what I mean? The sand of the earth, like a good grain of sand. That's like Berman. Good eyes.
Cool. So Left of Boston's coming up. Yeah. They just shot the pilot last
we shot
weekend.
The first 3 scenes. We have 7 scenes to go, but you're going to... So on August 16th, Peter Levine and I are starting the Weird and Local Film Festival. It's happening at Weird Warehouse on August 16th. So
Weird and Local Film Festival happening at the Warehouse August 16th.
Yeah, so that'll be the first time that hopefully we're going to be ready to show the first episode then.
Episodes. Excellent. I mean, that's exciting. Amongst all this, Fallon, how's your art going?
Oh, golly gee willikers.
Your physical painting.
Yeah, I just
poking the bear.
Well, it was spent the last 30 days up at Aeronaut Brewing Company.
I heard about that.
Yeah, you came, you saw it. It was really beautiful. And so I just took that down the other day, but there's a startup company in Boston. It's like 12 floors and spiral staircase going up, and it's like, and they want me to hang my work there for 3 months, which would be really nice because
Now, are you selling your artwork?
I'm selling it, yeah. I'm selling all of it because folks at home, in case you weren't noticing, I do a lot of my work here, and it's great. I love the facilities here. I love being able to reserve equipment and use the hot set, but I really need my own equipment.
We're moving up to the next level.
Yeah, we need to up the quality, production, so I'm going to be selling off all of my art this summer to help afford my own stuff. I need a computer, I need a camera.
We are going to have prints of some of her one-of-a-kind artwork, so don't get jealous if your friend buys your favorite piece. Fallon will be able to reproduce, I think we're doing 25 of each?
Yeah, 25 in print.
Yeah, so it's not like everybody and their mom is
No.
going to be able to have one unless you want you buy all 25.
And if you're if you're like this entrepreneurial-minded person, or you are the owner of a major hotel in Las Vegas and you want all of my art printed on your bath towels, you know, we can talk. I'm definitely open to that.
Get in touch with her agent.
Yep.
Bob blah blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Morrison.
I once knew a girl who worked for a law firm called Dumas and McPhail.
What? That's...
Dumbass and McPhail? Give me a break.
Yeah.
They were great attorneys, though.
I bet they were. Speaking of
It's
attorneys,
a real thing. You could look it up.
Speaking of attorneys,
That's not
everyone needs one.
slanders.
Get an attorney.
My attorney said a little paranoia is a good thing. A little bit of paranoia is a good thing.
My attorney said, we're a country built on welfare and war.
My attorney said, we're abroad, Dianne.
What do you say? Should we go and mingle over there with Joe Schmo and Fergal Humphrey?
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you want to say? What's coming up?
What is coming up is...
Or anything that you need, like, should you provide your email to the folks at home because you want them to email you?
Yeah, email me, DianneTheMagnificent@gmail.com. I spelled magnificent correctly. That's Dianne, 2 N's and an E. DIANNE, the Magnificent @gmail. That's also Dianne the Magnificent at Instagram. I have 2 Facebook accounts. One's an industry account, and one is like the one I reserve for stalking ex-boyfriends and keeping in touch with second cousins.
Yeah.
That's Dianne Carroll. I'm a class level 2 stalker. It means I have a Facebook account. You're all stalkers. My best friend Corey wrote her thesis on stalking. What are we talking about here?
Wow, that's interesting.
Stalk me. Email me, and I will email you back. Quirky, well-penned. We'll tell you about some upcoming dates. Also, Fallon and I are starting to do, magical things, and we're going to work magic with you and create magic. And
yeah, and hopefully we'll get over to Dublin. So for those of the people from Ireland tuning in, I know there's hundreds right now. There's a big crowd.
And our fans in China.
And
our fans. Fallon's fans in China.
No, hey, you know what? They're your fans too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Fallon made me famous
Oh,
today.
Come on, get out of here. You've been famous. Hats off to you. Hats off.
Hats off.
All right, folks.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning into Fallon's Daily Toast.
Thank you. Thank you.
Get close here. All right. Whoa, look at that. Look at that.
Stars shining bright above you. Night whispers something, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Sing a little thing for me.
And that's it. Thanks for tuning in.